We have the Auditorium Manager, Mr. Reno, going to have you do your introductions, convey to the viewing audience what you do for this great city, and the floor is yours.
As a matter of fact, if we don't mind, I'm going to take over Mr. Reno's introduction, if you don't mind. Mr. Reno is day 40?
About.
Day 40 of his job, and so I wanted to, if we could, just kind of give him a bit of a honeymoon period. So what I'll do is I'll kind of give a background about what we've been doing.
For the viewing audience, I need you to state your your name.
I'm Blake McDaniel. I'm the chair of the commission. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. And this is Christy Bailey, who
Hi.
runs all the money and finances for the auditorium. So for about 25 years, we went not making any money and being supported by the city of Nashville. About 4 years ago, we entered a deal, preferred promoter agreement with Live Nation. And first year of that, we started making money for the first time in 25 years. And the next year, we made more money. And if I am not mistaken, it looks like when this fiscal year ends, we'll be making even more money. So we've got our model fixed, and we're really proud of that. And we recently had a longtime manager of Municipal Auditorium, Bob Scone, retire, and we were lucky to find Mr. Rick Reno, who is sitting here to my right, to take his place. And so he is getting settled. And
He could have done the introductions, though. You could at least give him that much credit. He
Yes,
could have introduced you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thanks. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Reno if you have any words that you want to speak to.
He's just glad to be here. Go ahead, Mr. Reno.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going to say. But yes, I'm Rick Reno, and I am the new Municipal Auditorium Manager, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to come and work in Nashville. I am an original Louisianian, and coming here via Mississippi, and I am glad to be here. We are doing well. I'm inheriting a good foundation right now. I'm hoping to improve upon that. And Christy Bailey, who is our financial person here, she's going to handle answering questions or giving the presentation on the financials. I think everyone's pretty much aware of the Municipal Auditorium and its history here, being open since 1962. I know you're probably not interested in a lot of trivia, but I think I was meant to be here because it opened on October the 7th of 1962, which happens to be my birthday, so I think that might be a little sign. But anyway, seriously, I'm glad to be here. I've literally only been here about 40 days, so I'm not going to say much more than that, other than if you have some specific questions for me later after Christy kind of goes through the specifics of the financials and any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Reno, and welcome.
Basically, if you have any questions about our current upcoming budget year, I'll be glad to answer them. Like he said, Municipal's 57 years old, and if you've spent any time in Nashville, you know that we are the oldest venue in the city that's other than the Ryman that's still around. We hold in the round a little less than 10,000 people. Set up for a concert, depends on how far the stage is up and all, about 5,500 to 6,800, depending on the setup. So we host events from community events, like the firefighters have 2 concerts with us a year. We do the Shrine Circus every year. And then other various events like cheerleading, dance competitions, concerts, comedy shows, things like that. So.
Councilman Davis.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll give you a little bit of a honeymoon period. We won't be too hard on you. No, I was just going to mention real quick. We had it's great to hear everything with the Live Nation partnership. We had some blistering municipal budget meetings in years past, and so it's really just nice to hear that things are going well. Any way we can keep supporting you, just let us know. My one question is, are you guys? Obviously, it's an older building. Do you have any capital requests out there in the next couple of years, or where are you guys on your capital needs?
Yes, sir, we do. We have capital requests every year. As you mentioned, we are an older building, 57 years old, and we need some TLC to it. One of the main things right now that we have asked for, and we've also asked for it in 4% funding, is risers. Our risers are original to the building. They are a put-together pipe, screw, lay wood on it, set chairs on it. It's very time-consuming, but that's not the issue. The issue is now it's a safety issue. We had a concert in August of this past year where 2 people fell. They were, of course, not supposed to be sitting on the edge of the riser. They were. The riser broke, and we had 2 people fall. So we have asked for money, for funding for that. Mr. Reno has recently gotten a quote, and I think the most recent quote is around 700,000. Is that?
We were able to work with it already. We've worked with the original budget, which was much, much more than that, and we've reduced it by almost 50%. So we think we've got a pretty good figure, a pretty sound figure on it. And so we have put that in, followed the channels as far as I know and that I've learned so far. And so we're hoping that we'll be successful with that. I think that's coming up in September, I think, when it is. So we're hoping we'll be successful with that because we are pursuing it on the 2 fronts, primarily safety.
Sure. Well, I support you. I won't be here, but back in September. But no, I definitely support you for the next term.
We've got a long list of things. You know, that to me is our number one thing is getting the risers. You know, our roof. We have leaks quite often on the old dome roof that needs to be recoated. We've got a 57-year-old HVA system that's, from what I'm told, and I'm not an expert in this, is pneumatic. Is not anywhere up to date to what today's standards are for HVAC, but we patch and move on, and you know, that we have a long list of things that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was kidding about, I mean, I won't be here, but I am kidding about that. I wanted to let you get out kind of your capital needs. And I think it's just something we need to continue to think about as a city. It's a good size venue. Obviously, things have gotten dated. It's something I think we need to keep investing in. It's a classic Nashville venue. I saw Weezer there many years ago. I've seen Rage Against the Machine there on the Battle of Los Angeles tour. I'm dating myself. That was early 2000s. But seen some really good shows there. We get the Globetrotters. We get some kind of different kinds of things. Do you still do graduations or?
We are. Yeah. But I think this year we are hosting more than we've ever hosted. I think we have seven
or eight are coming up. 7
metro high schools that
Nice.
we're going to do graduations for. And then in the past, we've done some for University of Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of pick, I think, different locations. They don't do the same city every year.
And they
but I
pay
think
us
we
for that, I assume,
Yes,
right?
they
Yeah,
pay
sure.
us. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's just a great size. It's something, you know, a nice asset to have. So I think we just need to
a nice
keep an eye on that.
medium to the city. You've got Ascend and the Ryman and the War Memorial that are all around, well, not Ascend, but War Memorial and Ryman are about 2,000 seat
Right.
venues, and then we're right in the middle, and we aren't the Bridgestone by any means, but we hold
Right.
a nice middle size.
5,500, as you said, indoors
Yeah.
only.
Indoors,
right, so,
and depending
yeah.
on how far the stage is set up, and if it's a floor seating or a general admission on the floor, you know, there's
Right.
variables.
With the seating configuration, I mean, we're really a good facility to hit an area that there's kind of a void in here in this market from a fresh set of eyes that I see. And we just did Judas Priest and Uriah Heep Monday. So you've got an area there where you can bring in the classic rock. With Live Nation coming in, we're getting diversity of events with a lot of urban acts coming in. So I think there's a lot of area there that there's definitely a place for. And if we go down the road and we can get some of these capital improvements in here that can help us to where it makes it more efficient for these acts to come in, where their costs go down, that will help them see us as a more attractive facility because of the age that we have that creates some more expense for them. If we can alleviate some of that, then we'll be even more attractive for them.
Well, now that the operating revenue situation is settled, I think there's just less, nervousness, because, I mean, again, those years were really rough, and I really enjoyed working with Mr. Sconey and having him in here, and, you know, a couple of years I thought he was scared to come in here. It got really bad, but we've righted the ship. The Live Nation really lends a lot of credibility. That's a great partner to have, so Yeah, I think we just need to think about that as a city, that it's a really great asset, and if we can keep it going as a nice venue for us. So thank you, Chair, for letting me go into some capital some. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. And you know I'm going to have to do this. Just want to remind Budget and Finance Committee members and council members that we will not be considering capital while we're considering operating, and we put that in effect. Councilwoman Hurt. But great question, though. Councilwoman Hurt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. McDaniel, I didn't get your first name.
It's Blake McDaniel, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I would like to know a little bit more about the relationship with Live Nation. How does that work? Are they your exclusive promoters? And do they work with people locally, some local promoters here?
So the relationship is a preferred promoter arrangement, which means they gave us a cash outlay for 3 years in order to have as many dates as they want to for rent-free. So what that does is that takes up a large amount of inventory, and with them taking up a large amount of inventory, supply and demand, we're able to take the remaining inventory and juice the rent up a little bit to make some more money on that end. Also, we're able to make a little bit of money from some ancillaries as well, I think. So that all kind of came together in order for us to be able to kind of create a model in order for us to make money and be in the black instead of the red for so long. But it is a preferred promoter, so other promoters can come to the table and do shows in there, but Live Nation has purchased the right to have a first right of refusal on any date. But we just kind of work with them on that and try to play traffic control as much as possible, and it seems to be working pretty successfully.
Well, I want to congratulate you on your Jimi Hendrix exhibit, and also I went to the dressing rooms, and he's talking about 2000. I went to a We Love You show back in 1977. Wow. So We Love You on Valentine's Day. You remember, don't you, Brenda? But one
I was
other thing.
one.
The staffing in terms of your the ticketing and the seating and all that. Who does that? Is that contracted out?
That's internally.
It's internal.
It's internal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Mr. Reno, you want to speak to that?
Go ahead.
Reason why I'm asking, I had an issue there. I came and to Frankie Beverly Mays show, and I bought front row seats. And when we did it, apparently the seating was somehow misconstrued. We didn't know which side was which, and because there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on both sides, and you couldn't tell which was which. And the people that I worked with were not very nice.
Has this been several years ago?
It was a couple of years ago.
We changed companies that we changed companies that we were using for staffing because we're a small staff of 9. So when we have an event, we use Purchase Services, a staffing company, and we have since changed because we had a ton of problems with
Okay.
them. So we have a newer and, in my opinion, better. Friendlier, more knowledgeable. They're willing to work. That was the problem we had with the other staffing company. It seemed to be the employees signed up for our events so they could see concerts.
Great.
So.
With us being so small, our staff, basically counting me, there's only 9 FTEs there, and usually a facility of this size, probably 30, 35 would be a normal staff, in my opinion, in the years that I've been in this business. So pretty much everything has to be subbed out for that. So you do run into some things like that, but based upon what Christy's saying, and I can assure you we'll continue that, we try to monitor those things as they come up and make adjustments accordingly.
Right, and thank you. I know you mentioned some of the events, and I just want to give a shout out to the Delta Sigma Theta sorority that has their annual Christmas party there every year.
I think
and
we've been having it
it's
like
a
20 years,
wonderful
I think.
event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You made me forget what I was doing up here with that.
Obviously, you've never been.
Vice Chair Roden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since everybody's talking, first concert I ever went to, 1982, December, Prince Time and Vanity 6, 1999 tour.
Wow.
So it gets no better than that. Yeah, so I was 14 years old, so that's how old I was. So I had a question about the facility. When the inside of the facility, I know it's, you talk about the age of the facility. Do you not get any acts because they come in and say, this is just not nice enough for us? Or does everyone that come in say it's fine? Would improvements make y'all get more acts? I guess that's kind of the question I'm asking. So thank you for being here.
You want to address the dressing room, maybe?
So my day job, the one I get paid for, is an agent, a music agent. So I can kind of speak to this a little bit. Municipal Auditorium outside of Nashville has a bit of a reputation, and that's just it's old and tired, right? And so we're trying to kind of turn that around. We're trying to do the best with what we have. So part of this was the city was kind enough to come to the table with some capital improvements to the Backstage area. So the theory was that when we bring Live Nation to the table, when we start convincing them to bring artists there, that we need to make sure that artist experience is amazing. So as soon as they get off the bus, going to Backstage, to the Backstage rooms and areas and dressing rooms and things like that, to the point where they get on stage and off the stage again, they need to be able to call their manager and agent and say, it was an amazing experience, it's phenomenal. So when those artists are on the stage, they don't see the concourses, they don't see anything else. So as long as we got that settled, then we're gonna be able to maintain a bit of business. But eventually we're gonna have to do some improvements to, like you say, the concourses, the seating, the restrooms, all that kind of stuff. So people will look at it as like a first-class national venue, and that's what we want it to be. We want it to be that. The Forum in LA was kind of similar to that, much bigger, of course, but it looks kind of the same. We were kind of like a mini Forum in a lot of ways, and they did some amazing improvements, and it's turned it around, and people are talking about it, and big shows are going in there again, and they're filled up, and of course you can push the rent when you have some amazing amenities in a venue. So that would be the idea, is to do that as well. So the answer to your question is yes. We would be able to get better acts in there, more acts in there. There are a lot of artists that go into the Ryman and do 2 shows in the Ryman because they don't feel like the Municipal Auditorium is their best look. What we can do then is we can say, well, we can just do 1 show and get paid more at Municipal instead of doing 2 at Ryman. So that's an area that we can go into and that we see as an opportunity for Municipal, in addition to all the other headlining artists that sell the 4,000 to 6,000 tickets.
And to that, I would like to add that with the Live Nation deal, you guys approved of $1.5 million, and that's when we did the dressing rooms were redone. Yep. So we have the artist side; they're happy. Yes. And you guys approved, I think, through 4% funding, another $400,000 for restroom renovations. We're not right now in the RFP process with that. Hasn't been done, but you guys were very generous and gave us the funding for that, and so that is going to be taking place this summer. I think the company has been picked, or won the bid, and that is supposed to start this summer. So now the consumers are going to get a little piece of the action, so to say, that they're going to have a nicer restrooms, because that's our #1 complaint from the consumers is the restrooms. So, and I wanted to say that thank you for the money that you have already given and put into the municipal, and we are very appreciative of it.
Thank you for answering my questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Councilwoman Porterfield.
Thank you, Chair. Councilman Roten, when he was at that first concert, I was about 7 months old, so I don't remember that one, unfortunately. My question was to clarify, you said you all do graduations there. Is there a charge to use the facility for MNPS or for schools to use the facility?
Yes, ma'am. It is a reduced charge, and it's basically just to cover our labor expenses and the hard expense of we have to rent a ramp for handicap accessibility. We don't have one, and it's basically to cover those costs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilwoman Porterfield. Mr. Reno, thank you and your staff and the commissioners for all the work that you do for your city. Thank you for submitting your questionnaire and highlighting your accomplishments also. We instituted this process, this budgetary cycle, to help just expedite the budget hearings and the conversation, so we could have information up front in advance in these hearings. So thank you so much, and that concludes your budget hearing.